The Syrian desert, a vast expanse of arid land stretching as far as the eye can see, hot, dry. A harsh land where survival is a daily challenge. The sun beats down relentlessly and the ground is parched and unforgiving. But in this seemingly inhospitable desert, a city once flourished. Palmyra, an oasis city that defied the odds. It became a center of trade, a bustling hub of commerce, and a crossroads of empires. Palmyra stood as a beacon of civilization between great powers. It was strategically located, making it a vital link in the ancient world. To the east, the Parthian Empire, a formidable force with a rich culture and history. To the west, the Roman Empire, a vast and powerful entity that dominated much of the known world. Palmyra thrived on the trade between these two giants. Caravans laden with silk, spices, and other precious goods passed through Palmyra, making it a bustling trade center. The city's markets were filled with exotic items from distant lands. The Palmyrans were not just traders. They were skilled merchants who knew how to negotiate and maximize their profits. Their marketplace was a testament to their commercial acumen. They were also adept diplomats, maintaining good relations with both the Parthians and the Romans. This diplomatic skill ensured their city's prosperity and security. Palmyra was a melting pot of cultures, where East met West. Artifacts from both Parthian and Roman influences can be found, showcasing a unique blend of traditions. For a time, Palmyra enjoyed a golden age of peace and prosperity. The city thrived and its people flourished. But this peace was fragile. The winds of change were blowing, and dark clouds loomed on the horizon. The city's fortunes were about to change. A new power was rising in Palmyra. Queen Zenobia, a formidable and ambitious leader, would soon take the stage. Under her leadership, Palmyra would reach new heights of greatness, but this path would also lead to conflict and war, forever changing the city's destiny. We know little of Zenobia's early life, but what we do know paints a picture of a remarkable woman. She was born in Palmyra around 240 AD, a city that was a thriving center of trade and culture in the ancient world. Her family was wealthy and influential, likely involved in the bustling trade that made Palmyra prosperous. They likely had connections to the ruling family of Palmyra. Zenobia was highly educated, a rarity for women of her time. She spoke several languages fluently. These included Aramaic, Greek, and Latin, which allowed her to communicate with a diverse range of people and understand various cultures. She studied history, philosophy, and literature, immersing herself in the knowledge of the ancient world. Zenobia was also a skilled horsewoman and hunter, demonstrating her physical prowess and versatility. She married Odenathus, the ruler of Palmyra, around 255 AD. This union was not just a personal alliance, but also a strategic one. They had a son, Verbalathus, who would later play a significant role in Palmyra's history. Odenathus recognized his wife's intelligence and ambition. He included her in matters of state, valuing her counsel and insight. He included her in matters of state, where she learned the intricacies of governance and diplomacy. Zenobia learned much from her husband, absorbing the skills and knowledge that would later define her reign. She would soon need all her skills to rule Palmyra, as her destiny was to lead her people through one of the most challenging periods in their history. Odenathus was a powerful ruler. He expanded Palmyra's territory, transforming it from a small city-state into a formidable power in the region. His military prowess and strategic acumen were unmatched, and he quickly became a key player in the politics of the ancient Near East. He defeated the Persians in battle, securing Palmyra's dominance. His victories were not just military triumphs, but also political masterstrokes that earned him the respect and recognition of Rome. The Roman Empire, always wary of rising powers, saw in Odenathus a valuable ally. They named him Corrector of the East, a title that signified his authority and responsibility over the eastern provinces. This was a rare honor, reflecting the trust and reliance Rome placed in him to safeguard their interests in the volatile eastern frontiers. As the protector of Roman interests in the east, Odenathus maintained a delicate balance of power. He navigated the complex web of alliances and enmities, ensuring that Palmyra remained a crucial buffer state between Rome and its adversaries. But Odenathus' success would be short-lived. His rise to power had made him many enemies, and his position was fraught with danger. The very forces that had elevated him would also conspire against him. In 267 AD, Odenathus and his eldest son were assassinated under mysterious circumstances. The sudden and violent end to his reign left Palmyra in a precarious position, with its future hanging in the balance. Zenobia was now a widow, thrust into a position of immense responsibility. The weight of the kingdom rested on her shoulders, and she faced the daunting task of securing her son's inheritance and Palmyra's survival. Her son, Vabalithus, was still a child, too young to rule. The mantle of leadership fell to Zenobia, who became regent, ruling in her son's name. Many doubted her ability to lead, expecting her to be a mere figurehead. Zenobia became regent, ruling in her son's name. She was determined to protect her son's legacy and Palmyra's sovereignty. Her resolve and intelligence quickly became evident to those around her. Many expected her to be a figurehead, easily manipulated by the court's advisors and generals. They underestimated her strength and ambition. They thought she would be controlled by advisors. They were wrong. Zenobia was a shrewd and ambitious ruler with a vision for Palmyra that extended far beyond mere survival. Zenobia was a shrewd and ambitious ruler. She would not be a puppet, nor would she allow Palmyra to be overshadowed by Rome or any other power. She would not be a puppet. Instead, she took bold steps to consolidate her power, asserting her authority and making it clear that she was the true ruler of Palmyra. She would rule in her own right. Zenobia's reign marked the beginning of a new era for Palmyra, one that would see the city rise to unprecedented heights of power and influence. Zenobia consolidated her power. She built up Palmyra's army. She secured her borders. Then she turned her attention outwards. Zenobia launched a series of military campaigns. Her goal was to expand Palmyra's territory and influence. She conquered lands in Syria and Anatolia. Her army marched south, conquering Egypt. Zenobia's victories shocked Rome. She had taken advantage of the chaos within the Roman Empire. Rome was weakened by civil wars and barbarian invasions. Zenobia saw an opportunity to create her own empire. Section 5. The Palmyrene Empire, a challenge to Rome. Zenobia's victories were not just military. She was a skilled administrator. She maintained peace and order in her new territories. She promoted trade and commerce. She patronized the arts and sciences. Under Zenobia's rule, Palmyra flourished. It became the center of a new empire. The Palmyrene Empire challenged Roman dominance in the East. Zenobia styled herself as Queen of the East. She minted coins bearing her image. She even had her son, Vabalithus, proclaimed Augustus, a title reserved for Roman emperors. Rome could not ignore this challenge. A confrontation was inevitable. Section 6. Clash of Empires. Zenobia versus Aurelian. In 270 AD, Aurelian became Roman emperor. He was a strong and capable ruler. He was determined to reunite the Roman Empire, and that meant dealing with Zenobia. Aurelian led his legions east. He defeated Zenobia's forces in several battles. The Romans were superior in numbers and discipline. Zenobia's army, though brave, was ultimately outmatched. Aurelian captured Antioch, one of Zenobia's most important cities. He then marched on Palmyra itself. Section 7. A Queen's Fall, the Siege of Palmyra. Zenobia had retreated to Palmyra. She believed her city was impregnable. It was surrounded by desert. Its defenses were strong. Zenobia refused to surrender. Aurelian laid siege to Palmyra. The siege lasted for months. Life in the city became desperate. Food and water ran low, but Zenobia remained defiant. She even attempted to escape. She rode out of the city on a camel. She hoped to reach the Persian Empire and seek their help. But the Romans captured her before she could get away. With Zenobia captured, Palmyra surrendered. Section 8. Legacy of the warrior queen, Zenobia's enduring impact. Aurelian spared Palmyra from destruction. He returned to Rome with Zenobia as his captive. She was paraded through the streets of Rome in golden chains. Despite her defeat, Zenobia remained a figure of respect. Aurelian allowed her to live out her days in a villa near Rome. Zenobia's story is one of ambition, courage, and ultimately tragedy. She was a woman who dared to challenge the might of Rome. She carved out an empire for herself, and she defended it with skill and bravery. Though her empire was short-lived, her legacy lives on. Section 9. Lessons from Palmyra Zenobia's story today. Zenobia's story still resonates today. It is a story about leadership, ambition, and the clash of civilizations. It is a reminder that even the most powerful empires can fall. Zenobia's story also reminds us of the importance of cultural exchange. Palmyra, at its height, was a melting pot of cultures and ideas. It was a place where East met West. It is a reminder that we can learn much from other cultures. We must strive to understand each other. We must work together to build a better future. And we must never forget the lessons of history.